Welcome back to a brand new edition of Science. Scientific Journal, issue 52. We've got...
Scientist's log, stardate
That's right.
052. Thank you
Yes,
very much.
exactly. I'm your host, Boston PhD. Joining me as always is Dr. Moon.
Hi, I guess, maybe. Sorry, let me rephrase that in my doctor's voice. Hello.
Oh, hello. We are here to pass judgment on Despot's game. Real quick before we get started, reminder that our next game is Genesis Alpha 1. Normally $30. Thank you to the current PlayStation sale for selling it for $5. Thumbs up.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
Pretty sure I picked it up for like $5 as well when it was on sale on the Xbox.
Yeah, so we'll be starting that one next week. But as always, I have a problem with ranking, and I have roped Moon into it. So we're gonna figure out where it's gonna sit on our list of the best roguelikes of all time. But first, let's kind of wrap up our thoughts about the game overall, and ask the question we ask every month, which is, are we going to keep playing this game or not? Probably know Moon's answer already, but we're still going to ask the question. All right, Moon, what are your final thoughts on Despot's game?
It's fine. like the hard mode, the normal mode is too hard. The hard mode is extremely too hard. The easy mode is extremely too easy. Like, it's one of those games where the balancing doesn't seem to be balanced.
Yeah.
It's like the scales of justice just don't align in this really bad analogy that I'm making. Conceptually, I genuinely like the game. I don't think it should probably have ever been released on consoles because there is just so much going on at all times.
Yeah.
Like, a mouse is extremely helpful in this instance, and the Series X only has 3 USB ports. One of those is a charger, one of those is a hard drive, and the other one is a different hard drive. So
it's funny because we recently just released an episode of Game Club where we talked about Norco, and all three of us played that on console. It's very much the same, where it's like, you did a great job of getting it to work on console, but should we have? Like, Norco is a little bit less, but this game, Despot's game, functions on console, and like, I'm sure you could make some changes here and there from like a UI UX perspective, but
yeah. Like, everybody complains about the Destiny menus where it's a mouse cursor menu, and then you create a game where the only option other than the clunky controls are mouse cursor controls on a console, which is not ideal. And like I said, I don't have the USB slots to spare. I just don't.
Yeah.
They were so concerned with if they could, they didn't ask if they should. To quote Jurassic Park here.
That's right.
I don't know why I'm referencing that, but it's a great line. I think it's Jurassic Park. I don't know. I don't know. I might keep playing it because it does have those stupid achievements.
So many.
I'm still playing Moonlighter. I never talk about it because I do like one run, and it's like, I love this game. I don't want to play this game right now. That kind of thing. Because that's got them too. Thanks. I don't know. Like, that 100 King of the Hill wins is kind of ridiculous.
10 would be a lot. 100 is.
I'm pretty sure there's 1 for 10, 1 for 1, 1 for 10, and 1 for 100. And it's like, guys, like, why? Like,
guys, please.
Like, why?
Yeah.
And then I've heard tales of people having network problems, can't connect to the server, and then they just get kicked out of King of the Hill. So you did all of that work for nothing, essentially.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't know. It's. I think I said it already. It's conceptually a really solid idea. Execution, I just find it a little bit lacking for my personal tastes.
Right. I like this game a lot. I have the same sort of criticism that you do, that I think that difficulty is way out of whack. I think Like you said, easy's too easy, normal's too hard, hard is impossible. I do like a lot of the modifiers, though. I wish the one for re-rolling the shop and sacrificing humans was lower, because the re-rolling the shop one feels super, super high. So I haven't unlocked all the modifiers, unfortunately. But I really like this. I like the style. I like the pixel art. I think is really, really great. I think it controls as well as it can on console. And I like the core mechanics of it. The kind of, you're not controlling the humans. You're just trying to equip them and make the combos and try and get the, squeeze the best combos out of the humans that you can. I wish, in a weird way, I wish there was more content, because I feel like by the time you finish a run, you've kind of seen every run. Like, you're fighting the same bosses, you're going through the same floors. There's enough variation, I feel like, on the like events you run into on the floors, like the Pied Piper, the cube, that sort of thing. And I always like, referential games don't always strike the right tone, but I feel like Despot's game does. It's one of the very few that really manages to get the tone of the references right. Like the when you land on a new floor, there's always that kind of multiple choice dialogue that you're gonna run into.
That's so cool.
It's very cool, and like 99% of them are some sort of reference, but it doesn't feel.
The boys one is pretty hilarious to me.
Yeah, boys one is really good, but it feels very much like I think we were surprised at how Neon Abyss handled its references of just like, yeah, it's like the Assassin's Creed thing, whatever. We're not gonna be like, huh, look at this, a wink, get it, fellow gamers.
Yeah.
Same thing here. It's sort of like, it's a kid who has a scar on his forehead. He's got glasses. You know who it is. Whatever. So I think that's nice, but I really wish that there were more bosses, there were kind of more floor variations, there were more enemy types or something. Like the as much as I like it, I kind of don't see myself playing it more, because I feel like I've seen everything, and I don't, smacking my face on the higher difficulties doesn't feel rewarding, because it doesn't feel like there is, when you play something like Isaac, you're going to break through your skill ceiling or something, or unlock a new character or items or something. Like, if I just keep at it, I can beat this thing. And there'll be a harder thing after that. And if I keep at it, I'll beat that. And I don't feel like that in Despot's game. I feel like if I don't find the magical combo of all the spinning plates, I'm just not going to make it past like the third boss. And that's what's going to happen. So, I don't know. I hope it comes to PlayStation, because I feel like if it's on my platform of choice, I could go through and I could play it more regularly. They did put out a huge patch. I think it was patch 1.1 while we were playing it. It put a bunch of extra stuff in it, a bunch of quality of life things. So I'm expecting that they'll continue to keep improving and supporting it, which is nice. But
yeah,
I just wish, in like the greediest way possible, I just wish there was more, because I like the game so much that I wish there was just so much more I could kind of sink my teeth into.
Yeah, and like having, like, it's good that they're going to support it, but sooner or later that stuff is going to go offline. The servers are going to go offline.
Right.
Right. It's really annoying.
Yes. Yeah, that stuff is continually really annoying. All right. Talking about, we're going to put this in the giant list here. We're starting at number 30. Is Despot's game better than Darkest Dungeon? Moons, what's our question?
Is it a better roguelike than Darkest Dungeon? Which
Scooching
I
it
think
above.
it probably is.
Yeah, I think kind of by definition. Is Despot's game better than Solitarica? two games that
I'm
have
gonna
the
say
same
yes.
problem. You know,
Similar problems because at
Right.
least the rooms are random in Despot's Dungeon. The bosses might
Right.
be the same, but the rooms are random. The
The
layout of the
layout.
floors are
Yeah,
random.
that's true.
There is a lot of that in there. Solitarica's main issue is the fact that it's literally the exact same scenarios every time you play.
Right. And I feel like that's one of the kind of core tenets of roguelikes that we kind of enjoy is that overall randomization, the kind of building of stuff. I'll agree.
Let's face it, the best roguelikes are randomized floors, randomized everything.
Yep.
And permanent increases in your ability / power level as you play the game more and more and more and more.
Yeah,
and
having
more.
that meta progression. Yeah. Is Despot's game better than 20XX? I'm gonna say yeah. 20XX is, as we've consistently talked about, it's really good, and it kind of suffers from the opposite problem that Despot's game has, where 20XX I feel like needs way more items and pickups and things. Despot's game doesn't really have that problem. It needs more bosses and enemies and variety, which I remember 20XX being okay with.
Yeah, and the big thing with 20XX was when you got to that last level, it was one of those last levels where it was just insanely difficult.
It's like the roguelike joke we always make, where it's like, oh, this game's pretty good. Whoops, we're in hell.
Everything is terrible for a reason.
That's right. Is Despot's game better than The Legend of Bumbo Classic?
Yeah, because it works.
Yeah. Poor Bumbo. I think Despot's game just has the leg up on Bumbo for nearly everything. It's just a bummer. Oh boy, is Despot's game better than Slay the Spire? Oof. Man, my knee jerk is yes.
Close.
With the caveat that we saw like maybe 5% of Slay the Spire.
This couldn't be two more opposite like approaches. We got 5% of Slay the Spire, and we got like 98% of Despot's game.
Right. I feel like, oh man, I don't know. This is a tough one because I feel like they're both pretty similar. I wish the Slay the Spire. One thing I like that Slay the Spire did was it made it very clear when you were how close you are to unlocking your next set of cards or unlockables or characters or whatever.
Yeah, very clear.
It's just like you earned 300 XP, you needed 500, you got 200 left to go. And I felt like Despot's game, we found the little question mark menu pretty late in our playthrough, but a lot of times you lost in Despot's game. It's like, here's 5 more mutators. It's like, oh, cool, okay, good, but how? I do like that Slay the Spire did that, but Despot's game is... They're kind of opposite games, because Slay the Spire is like one of those games
it's
where
a card game as well versus like a strategic like build game.
And Slay the Spire, like my impression is that you just keep unlocking things. Like you just that onion keeps unfolding and opening, and you're like, here's another layer. Whoops, okay, here's more. Oh, hey, here's a whole brand new thing. Despot's game's strength and weakness is it doesn't do that.
True. I think I can go with you on this one, provided the people who see this list understand that that's the caveat is we did not get the time to play Slay the Spire that we probably needed to.
We didn't start the spin-off show to play Slay the Spire for the next 2 years.
Yeah, Binding of Spire.
Right. Moonpier's card rebirth.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, is Despot's game better than Griftlands? This list is getting really hard to go through, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh man, I like Riftlands a lot.
Yeah, and does so much that Spire doesn't do, and the fact that it has a story and characters and
right
and everything like that.
It's tough because both of these games are good games that we enjoyed that are flawed, kind of fundamentally. Griftlands kind of has the opposite problem that Despot's game does, where Griftlands like almost has too much stuff in it. Like you keep running into systems and characters and unlocks and cards and etc. etc. And Despot's game is like, yeah, man, you got the pink humans. There you go. Clash upon the rocks. Let's do it. I think I love Griftlands, but I think there's something about Despot's game that ekes out above Griftlands for me. I'm trying to figure out what it is. I'm not entirely sure.
Oh, I'm torn. I mean,
I could genuinely go either way.
Yeah, same, to be honest. I think just for aesthetics' sake, we should probably have Griftlands right next to Slay the Spire, so I'm fine with it going above Griftlands. Just
there you go, the little buddy combo.
Just for the aesthetics of the situation.
Right.
Nothing will split Griftlands and Slay the Spire ever.
It's true. All right, I'll scooch it up there. Is Despot's game better than Crown Trick? Oh man, I love Crown Trick.
I don't think it is. I think Crown Trick being an SRPG roguelike is
your traditional turn-based roguelike.
And the fact that you didn't even beat the first boss on Crown Trick and like unlock the meta progression side of things, like. Crown Trick is a solid game.
Those sort of traditional, like, the enemies move as you move, grid-based kind of roguelikes like Sharing the Wanderer and Rogue also. Like, I love that style, and I am just so bad at them.
Oh, me too. Like, I'm horrifically bad at those games. Yeah, I'm fine with it stopping right here, to be completely honest. Yeah, I was surprised it made it past Griftlands and Spire.
I mean, just barely. Yeah, I agree. I think this is one of those that's really tough, because if someone had a gun to my head, I don't think I'd be able to tell them exactly why this is or isn't better than the other ones, but it feels right in this spot. So
yeah,
good job, Despot's game. You're at number 25. Nice.
Huzzah!
Hooray! You're in the top half of the list. Top 50%. Yeah. Good job, Despot's game. All right. Well, that is our episode. That is our ranking. Don't forget, next episode is the beginning of our Genesis Alpha 1 month. A month of bugs. I think
excited for this because like I literally don't know what it's gonna be.
Yeah,
it's like, is it gonna be good? Is it gonna be bad? I don't know.
Would you like to know more? Yeah, so we're gonna be flying blind into this one.
We're doing our part. Come on,
that's right.
Keep the analogy going.
That's right. I was trying. All right. Thank you very much, everyone, for listening. We'll see you next run. Bye.
Bye.